but I'm not overly worried about him. But let's get into the next question. This one comes from Action Jack 8. When are we going to be the top 5 defense we were supposed to be? Before Wink, the Ravens used to be known for playing stingy man every game. If your coverage is soft, your pass rush better be great. Top 5 defense, Joshua. Do you want to take this one first?
It ain't gonna happen to the later of the season. It ain't too much to say about that. I mean, we're gonna be top. Right now, we're arguably top at takeovers, but in regards of stopping a run like we used to, really getting to it in the past. But the thing is about our secondary, it is coming together. It's coming together week by week, and we still have inexperienced pieces, and we have veteran pieces that are trying to work through the kinks and get back to full health. So until that defense is at 100% full health, which is not going to be till mid-season, that's when I feel like we'll be a top 5, top 10 at the least in regards to defense.
Yeah, I think the Ravens, it's injuries right now. And we can look at Marlon and we can look at Marcus and be like, okay, they're coming back. Marcus played a great game. Marcus Peters played a great game this last week. I want to say 40 covered snaps, 1 completion allowed, 1 interception, and an 11 or 14 quarterback rating when targeted. He played a great game. Marlon Humphrey, when he got switched on to Devontae Parker, he started to look like he was that dude. And Marlon missed a lot of the game against the Dolphins. He was a little bit injured.
Yeah.
But I think the big one is Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller getting injured made the Ravens have to throw Brandon Stevens out there on the field, and Brandon Stevens is injured. And Brandon Stevens missed the game against the Dolphins, and he came back. And I think they asked him, and John Harbaugh, even after the game, said, like, hey, I think we threw out Brandon Stevens a little bit too early. I don't think he was fully recovered from his injury. I mean, he was getting beat. And I like Brandon Stevens, but they just put him in a bad situation. They corrected that. And the Ravens defense was like, wow, this is actually a really good defense. Because, I mean, they only allowed 13 points at the end of the game. But, the Patriots did what the Patriots do. They scored coming out of the half.
Yeah.
And then they didn't score again until the fourth quarter when they were able to put together, a nice drive. But I believe that was after I have to double check, but I believe – oh, no, it was – so they were able to put together their touchdown. Right after the Ravens score, they go 9 plays, 75 yards. And in that drive – what happened was, I'm trying to see, what was the big play that got them down the field? Oh, a Devontae Parker. Oh, that was Devontae Parker, I believe, over the middle of the field. And he just got open. But that's like, they really allowed 2 drives in the second half that were good. And so even though it looks bad, the Ravens offense was putting up so many points that the defense was just out there. And they don't have their full guys. They didn't have Justin Houston in the second half, which makes the pass rush even worse. I think Tyus Bowser is the guy that I'm looking at. When Tyus Bowser comes back,
the wild card. He's the wild card because he can do everything that they're trying to make Adafi do. Tyus does it, and there's nothing with Adafi. Tyus just has that ability to be in,
and he can play coverage.
That's all I'm just about to get there. He can drop back in coverage. He can get up the field. He can make tackles. He can cause disruption. I mean. And you know what else is going to make us a top 5 defense? Yes, I know Chuck Clark has the green dot. I'm not about to say trade Chuck Clark or sit him down. Our star players of the defense need to start taking over. Marlon Humphrey, he's arguably one of our best corners on our team. I know he's coming back from an injury and everything of that nature. But if you see, your young guys getting cooked, when we play sports growing up, if we watch Kobe will wait to certain times or either in the beginning of the game say, yo, don't worry, I got him. LeBron James, yo, JR, Iman, go this way, go that way. I'm going to dial something up and we going to work this out. I'm going to guard this guy. Shaq, when it came to Yao Ming, Andrew Bynum, those guys, he'll give you the wink. I got him. Don't worry about it. We knew that, when it was time for certain players to guard certain players, it's going to be a show. I feel like Marlon Humphrey should have been, said, "Hey, Mike, I know you're the defensive coordinator and everything like that, but listen, my young guys are getting cooked by Devontae Parker. Put me on them. Let me work out. Just give me some over-the-top help, and we're going to get something done." It just takes that. We need guys to take that leadership role and just say, "Yo, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna strap up. I'm gonna take this challenge. I'm gonna go out there and knock this. I'm gonna knock the stew out of this. I'm about to say Deshaun Elliott. My bad, Deshaun. I love you still. I'm gonna go ahead and knock the stew out of Michael Carter. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out Derrick Henry. And what wide receiver we got? We gonna be playing against Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs. I know he got maybe some of the best route running and greatest hands, but you know what? Me as a defensive corner, I'm gonna give him hell as much as I can. But y'all help me out. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Just take that initiative, and I promise you, the 10 guys on the field that's playing with you in that white and black or that purple and black, they're gonna say, you know what? That's one of our leaders, and we're gonna have his back throughout this whole game, and we're gonna fight.
And we saw it. We saw it when he started getting on Devontae Parker. It was like, wow. The Patriots offense didn't work anymore because the only thing that worked was hitting Devontae Parker when Brandon Stevens is covering him. And it was like, oh, wow, look, it keeps working. They made that change, and it stopped. That offense stopped working. And when you're looking at this team, I think the other thing, it just needs time. Not just because of the young guys. And one, I think Kyle Hamilton played a great game last week. But, he took that initiative. They talked about it in the press. They were like, Kyle Hamilton was pissed after week 2. He was like, I cannot let that happen again. And you love to see it because he came into that press conference and we talked about it. He took initiative and he was like, I can't blame inexperience on that. I just have to be better.
Yeah.
And he went out there and he was like, I'm not going to botch that. I'm going to make that right play. And what did he do? That hard work, it paid off and he was able to force that fumble. This team is working in a new system. These linebackers, these corners, they've been playing heavy press man-to-man for the last couple of seasons. Mm-hmm. Mike Macdonald is trying to change that up. They're getting, it's a little bit uncomfortable at first, but if anybody of you are golfers, this is the worst part about golf, right? If you want to get better, it sucks. Getting better at golf sucks because you have to take lessons. And when you take lessons, the guy will be like, no, you got to change this part of your swing. And it feels horrible. You're swinging the ball. No, you got to hold it with this grip. That grip feels terrible. But you got to do it. And you got to play 15 rounds with it, with that new grip. By the end of those 15 rounds, by the end of those 15 buckets of balls or whatever, you're like, wow, I'm actually hitting the ball better. And it no longer feels uncomfortable. It's going to take some time of this secondary doing these combinations, having these communications, and just these young guys playing in the NFL now. It's going to take a little bit of time adjusting to a new system. But when they are adjusted, it feels uncomfortable at first. It's going to be better off. That's why people don't like change, because it's uncomfortable. But Mike Macdonald, the benefit is he's putting in this change. He's changing up this Ravens defense early in the season.
Yeah.
That's way better than being like, oh no, it's week 17. Wink Martindale's all blitz situation is not working still. I guess we got to go to something different. And then they try it out in the first week of the playoffs and they go, oh no, we lost because everyone was uncomfortable and we kept having busted coverages. Instead, we're getting that out of the way early, getting those mistakes out of the way. Kyle Hamilton knows, hey, I'm not going to drop underneath anymore. If I'm in single high, I'm covering the post no matter what. He's not making that mistake again. It's better to make those mistakes early, and it sucks getting the loss, but make those mistakes early. So then when you're going up against the Buffalo Bills in week 4, and they go Stephon Diggs deep crosser, Gabe Davis deep post, Kyle Hamilton sticks with that deep post, and Josh Allen may rip it because he's like, oh man, Kyle Hamilton played underneath last time. He's going to play underneath again. Josh Allen throws it up. Boom. He can get that pick because he's in that opportunity, or get the swat, get the stop, whatever it is. Mike Macdonald's defense is going to take time to adjust to. It's the same thing with new offensive coordinators and new playbooks. It takes a little bit of time. You're not used to running those routes. You're not used to, playing zone coverage.
Yeah. At least we're not being like the Raiders fans. Already asked for Josh McDaniels' head.
Yeah, I mean, being 0-3, that one's rough.